I think we're going now.
Oh,
so you can tell me that story.
Well, you were just playing me. What was it? What were you playing?
I was playing a video that my French cousin sent me, Alain.
Yeah.
That was a Child in Time, Deep Purple, black and white video. And it's so nostalgic. It really got to me when I listened to it last night. And then we got on to, because I was saying as well, but going to the Savoy Theatre.
Which I think was Brian Epstein's theatre. Right. I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
And that's where Hendrix played for the first time. I think it was certainly amongst one of the first gigs he did when he came over. And Paul told me once that for this opening night, he was sitting in the audience, and Hendrix came on, and apparently I think Hendrix was quite a cocky bugger, and he started playing, and then he stops, and he said, "Oh, my guitar's out of tune. Is Eric in the audience? Eric, can you come up and tune my guitar?" And Paul said that Eric was sitting next to him, and he slunk down in his seat to pretend that he wasn't there. But yeah, they put on a lot of new acts and stuff there. But what was interesting about seeing that, for Guitars on the Beach kind of point of view, with the Deep Purple track, was seeing Ian-Gillan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know, our mate,
yeah,
our mentor and sponsor.
And theatre
patron now of the Marine Theatre.
Yeah. He hasn't changed. He doesn't look any different.
No, I know. He's just,
if you took all his hair.
He's just shorter hair. But he still looks so fucking cool, doesn't he? Yeah. And such a great voice. I mean, I'd be interested to find out. We must ask him when we next see him what his octave range is, because on that song he's really up high, isn't he? Do you know?
Very, yeah.
And yeah, that was a great art. Was that off Deep Purple in Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other? What was the? Black Knight was on Deep Purple in Rock, right, wasn't it? Black Knight was one of the ones that got me into trying to play a guitar, and 40, 50 years later still being incapable of doing it. But that riff, you know, I love that.
It was good times.
They were good times. All those caftan coats and patchouli and...
I'm sure there were bad times as well, but
I don't know.
Looking back, it just feels like it was good.
Were they bad times? I don't know. I think... I remember another thing...
We didn't have a lot of money then.
No, well, we didn't need much, did we? I remember another thing that Paul said about that period. He said it seemed like every day was golden.
Right.
You know, because the summers seemed to just be wondrous and, yeah.
Like I said, in that video, you see all those images of the people with the long hair and everything. And it was just like they were my friends.
Yeah,
they could have been my friends.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that's interesting because that's you in London.
Yeah.
And me down here in Lyme-regis.
Yeah.
At the same period, but the people still look the same.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, the fashions were a bit months later and stuff, but yeah, caftans and Afghan. You remember those smelly Afghan coats you used to get?
You would have been younger, quite a lot younger as well.
I was, but I started off early.
Yes, I do remember the cap.
I started off early at most everything. As Graham Parsons used to sing. But yeah, the coats, and they always reeked of goat, didn't they?
Or patchouli oil.
Or patchouli oil.
Which is what Hilary said you reek of today.
I still wear it, yeah, I know. Still got the earrings, still got the patchouli. It's, yeah, I loved all that. And going down and scoring what you thought was an eighth of hash, and it was always a bit of OXO cube. Off some older hippie.
Or the little bit of ripped off newspaper that was supposedly...
A blotter acid.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I got in a lot of trouble once.
So they tell me.
I got in a lot of trouble once in Lyme where I scored some acid for some mates. I didn't want to take. I've only taken acid once, and it was bloody bad experience. I went up on the Saturday night and came down. It's true. I dropped it at 7 o'clock on the Saturday night, and I stopped tripping at 4:30 on the Wednesday afternoon. Bloody horrible experience. I've never done it since, but. When I was at school in Lyme, some mates of mine wanted acid, and I knew these hippies who used to hang around in Lyme, and I scored this stuff for them, and it was period pills. Remember those little blue period pills? God, there's a hell of a trouble about that.
Can I just say something at this point?
Yeah, I think you should.
It's about generally podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
And my experience of it.
All right.
And I just want to sort of just say that quite a lot of it is after we finished, I have to then spend the next day editing out all the bits that you wished you hadn't said.
No, but I'm fizzing today.
Yes, I know.
So you won't have to edit anything?
No, I don't know about that last bit.
What, the last bit?
About all the druggy bit.
I'm not worried about that.
No, okay, fine.
I mean, who's going to bust me,
No, it's not that. It's just... I don't want
50 years on, for buying period pills, thinking they were LSD.
Yeah.
I mean,
But the young people might listen to this. And then...
Well, if young people are listening to it, and I can say with some authority on this, because I've taken practically every drug known to man since those days, and I can say with some authority and in entire seriousness that if people do offer you acid, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. Because in my experience, it's a very, very bad idea. And I do seriously believe that it induces psychosis in the wrong mind. So I'm not endorsing acid by that anecdote at all.
No.
Now, if you're talking about cocaine, that's completely different
I don't think
matter.
they've actually come down yet, to be honest.
Actually, I'll tell you something. A little segue there. You were saying that congratulations to Ian-Gillan for becoming the new patron of the Marine Theatre, which has been revived wonderfully under Gabby Rabbitts, the new director. And in fact, I'll tell you that in a minute. But I was going to say that we're doing our own Marine Guitars on the Beach are doing their own Marine Theatre gig on April the 14th, Saturday, April the 14th, which is a fundraiser. And besides the house band, I'm fizzing. Fizz. I really am fizzing today.
Well, it's good compared to the last few.
Well, this is what happens with people who get depression. You get, you feel all, ugh, and then suddenly you're fizzing again. But I'm really, really fizzing.
You're not over fizzing though.
I might be. I have had about 8 cups of coffee this morning, and 6 cigarettes, and but I am fizzing because Pete Wilde, our mate, who's in charge of all things that you and Brian aren't in charge of. At Guitars on the Beach, he's found this fantastic young band who will be starring at the Marine Theatre on April the 14th, and they are called Dream Phaser. And I'll tell you who they are. Do you remember last year's Guitars on the Beach? After you guys in the house band and Mungo Jerry had done your set, and then a young band came on, young Lyme local band, and that was the worst fucking spot to do, isn't it? After the house band, nobody wants to do that
because people are going.
Yeah.
I think they were going,
and they're called. Excuse me. They were called Joe and the Juice, and they bloody nailed it. They really did nail it and get the crowd going and stuff. And anyway. Joe and the Juice has now been augmented. I think they were a 5-piece and now a 7-piece. And as this 7-piece called Dream Phaser, and they're going to be playing, starring at our Marine Theatre gig, which I thought a clever idea last night.
So can I just ask, is that absolutely confirmed, or could we be lying?
No lies. No lies.
Okay.
This isn't... I'll put my hand up when I'm lying, okay? All right? And this is absolutely true. Pete confirmed it with the emails this morning. You haven't seen them yet.
With the theatre too?
Yeah, theatres. Theatres. Gabby's up for it.
Good.
£10 a ticket. And I thought, so I was thinking, I've got to do a press release on it today, and I was thinking, what am I going to call it? You know, you don't want to call it Guitars on the Beach Fundraiser, even though it is, or Guitars on the Beach Benefit Night, because it sounds like one of us has pegged it or something. And then I thought, theatre. And then I thought I'll call it Guitars on the Boards. Thought that was clever, very clever, I thought. So they're going to be playing at Guitars on the Boards with the house band. And there was something else I was going to...
There were going to be various people pop in to play with the house band?
Yeah, thank you. That was the other bit. And we're hoping that... So what Brian's going to do is he's talking to all the kind of principal local musicians, and we're hoping that during the house band set that various, star guitarists or great singers like Grace Gillan and Jess Upton, we're hoping that people like that will get up and do a few numbers. I think it'd be a fantastic night. I mean, it's really, I am fizzing about it. And it's the smallest, this is going to be the line, it's the smallest Guitars on the Beach production, because there's only 350 tickets. Not like when we do our beach thing, or you do, and you've got a crowd of thousands. So that's really good. So, yeah.
I wish I would be there.
I know. I'm thinking of getting some sort of cutout of you.
In which guise?
Well, yes, exactly. In which of your hats? Sorry, I'm scratching my head there. I'm not putting my hand up and lying.
No. Okay. Could I say something?
Yeah, please do.
Just to mention that by the time this podcast is out, there will be a new tutorial online.
A very good tutorial.
Was it?
I thought so.
Oh, okay, good.
I thought it was really good.
It's a tutorial, and I just sort of like to emphasise, really, these tutorials are not, they're not like this is the chord. They're sort of an overview and ideas and bouncing around ways people can do it, where they play things when they're just beginning, or the more advanced guys will be able to get something out of them. Yeah. But
it's an all-round guide, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a guide rather than a proper in-depth tutorial.
And which song are you doing this week?
A Whole Lot of Rosie
by
AC/DC,
which is the tribute to Malcolm Young.
Yes.
That'd be really good. I thought your version was really, really spectacular. I did.
Me and Brian.
You and Brian, yeah.
Okay. It focuses in the tutorial on the riff, which is the thing that really, guitar-wise, says is in the song the main thing. So.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it's a great riff.
It is, yeah.
And you're playing the riff, aren't you?
I am in that, yes.
Yeah. But what I liked about that was that when you do these tutorials and you play the song through, and then you and Brian discuss, as you were saying, the varied ways that you can play the song. So you can play it a complicated way if you're like a guitarist like you, or if you're a half-wit like me. What I particularly liked was at one point in the tutorial, I heard Brian say, you can play this on one string if you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm going to come down for that. So I might bring a whole load of guitars. And for that song, I'll just have one string. I don't know which string it is. I don't know if it matters. Does it matter?
No, you don't even have to have it in the guitar, really.
Really?
No.
Fantastic. Well, that would be good. I could have one of those kind of, what are they called? Washboard basses.
Soapbox, cigar box.
Yeah.
Things,
yeah.
Yeah, you could actually.
Yeah, no, I really like that, and I think that'll be... I mean, I suppose... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to point out, like I said in the last podcast, I think, to get to the tutorials, the tutorials are on the Guitars on the Beach YouTube channel.
Right.
And there's a link from the website in the top right of the website to the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Right, where you can see the videos. But somebody has pointed out, and I think that it's a good idea, we ought to have the links directly in the on the website themselves to the tutorials. And perhaps, on the chord sheet page, under each chord sheet, we should have a link to the tutorial there.
Well, you're the man for that, aren't
I
you?
know. Well,
have you pointed that out to yourself?
Yes.
All right.
So now I have to do it now.
Well, you're going off to Spain. You're going to have loads of time to do that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, put them up. Put them all up.
Yeah.
People are lazy these days, particularly when it comes to the internet. They don't want to. It's like if they have to click to another page, it's like asking them to walk from lyme-regis to Bournemouth, isn't it? It's like, oh God, it's like your 9-year-old son doing homework. I don't want to do it. It's like, well, just click on. No, I don't want to. Click on that little thing, and then no, it's too much. And so yes, put them all up.
I will do that, and we've started to get some real sponsorship money in the bank now, so we're going to need to put those are going to be on the website.
The sponsors.
The sponsors, yeah.
Who so far are Ian-gillan, Lime Bay Holidays, Snack Shack, Tuxie,
Westwood Guest House.
Well done. Well done. That was a bloody good edit last week, the way you got that in. Westwood Guest House, which is owned by Lavinia. Who else? Anybody else yet? A little bird told me that Lyme-Regis Town Council is reputed or rumoured to be going to be very favoured. No, what's the word?
Look favourably on.
Thank you. Look favourably upon us this year, and may give us a few quid, which would be great.
It would be good, yeah.
And I got an exclusive.
Exclusive what?
A worldwide exclusive. Stop the press.
A scoop.
A scoop. Yes.
That was in a crossword puzzle yesterday.
Was it? Okay. Yes, world exclusive. We need a fanfare here. And, John Govia, very sadly, who has been our MC since Guitars on the Beach started in 2013.
He's a bastard.
He's a bastard. You can't say that.
He said I look like the guy with the moustache from Sparks.
Did he?
Yes.
What are you doing?
And then he said he doesn't talk much, does he?
Well, you look a bit. You're a variety of faces. It depends on your hats, doesn't it? I mean, you're looking very George Harrison again today.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the bloke from what was he called? That bloke from Sparks, something, wasn't he? Yeah. Ron Spark. He's not a bastard. He's a really, really, really nice bloke. Okay. He's a really. He was at school with. Well, he wasn't at school with me because he's so much younger. But
you were all at school with each other.
Well, that's
you?
the point. If you live,
all these people
if
that
you live
come from Lyme-Regis.
If you live in a town, you tend to go to the same school.
Just an outcomer.
No, you would have been. No, you would. If you'd been at school with us, you would have been in our gang called the Lads. They were.
The Lads. That's original.
Well, no, I didn't. Somebody else called us it. One of the staff or something, and we terrorised the school. We were dreadful, really awful. I mean,
what were you going to say?
I was going to say
before we start going down school days nostalgia.
I was going to say that John can't do it this year because he's busy at his pub. It's the Brook Inn in Plimpton, or near Plimpton. And so I didn't know. Brian told me. I was like, oh no, gutted. I mean, who are you going to? Because MCing Guitars on the Beach is a big gig, and I was sitting there trying to grow smaller in the corner while you and Brian were discussing this, thinking, I know it's going to happen. They're going to say, well, who can do this? Who's not playing? And I was thinking, fuck off.
Yeah, it did cross my mind.
No, fuck off. I was like, I'm not fucking doing it because it would interfere with time I have to spend in the pub. Anyway, Jeff Scowen is going to do it. Counsellor.
What, the whole day?
Yeah, he's going to do the whole thing.
Excellent.
Yeah. Because we asked him if he would do some, because, he does these reggae nights down at the Marine Theatre, and we said, could you do a bit of DJ? And I phoned him up yesterday and said, Brian and Bob have asked if you'd do a bit of DJing in between the changeovers with the bands. And he said, yes, he would. And then I just kind of was mentioning about the MC thing, and he said he'd do it. So he'll be really good. I mean, he'll get the crowd going and stuff, and he's hilarious. So I'm very pleased about this. It's all coming together all of a sudden.
Good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After 2-3 weeks of the slough of despond, now I can see the light.
Good.
I've become like Cliff Richard. Or maybe Keith Richards. Yeah. So I'm very... I think it's because our backs were up against the wall with this Guitars on the Beach this year. Because normally, in previous years, we've got a bit of bread together, or somebody's donated a sound system like Absolute Music and stuff in previous years. And suddenly this year, putting this one together, we were like, shit, we haven't got anything. And we've got a house band, and we've got a beach, and we've got a massive sound band of several thousand, but we've got no fucking money. And all of a sudden, and it's really good, all of a sudden all our mates, Gillan and Lavinia and Lime Bay and Jeff now and all these people, they're all kind of rallying round and thinking, they're getting, I think it's the influence of that Churchill film. This new Churchill film with Gary Oldman in it, where and I think it's that, because this was like, we were facing our darkest hour. No, this is true. And now we're kind of like, we shall fight them up, we shall play them on the beaches, we shall never surrender. And that's good, because I think there are a few people in the town that would have liked us to shut up and go away, but we're not going to. We're going to be better and louder and bigger and more spectacular than ever before. And
the weather's good.
Weather'll be fantastic. I saw the long-range weather forecast. It was in the Times.
Right.
There was a piece in the Times saying there was an 83% of UK weather forecasters had predicted that June the 16th this year would be the hottest day in memory. That's what they've done. I'm not making this up.
No, of course not. So you can put your hand down now.
So it was in the Times. So I think, but the weather will be fantastic and everyone will love it. Now, may I ask, are you going to perform?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't mean now. I mean, are you going to sing on the day?
No, it's very unlikely.
Are you sure? Oh, right, okay. All right. I shan't say anything about that. Oh, should we...
You're back.
I'm back. Hot news.
Oh, right.
Hot. This is...
Off the press.
Yes, hot off the press. This is like at night. This is a nighttime recording now. Because
an addendum.
It is.
An podcast.
Yes. It's hot news.
Perhaps I'll put it in the beginning.
If you like.
Okay.
Yeah. Might need an intro or something, but doesn't matter. Hot
Okay.
news. Richard and Nikki Cooper, who are the new owners of Lyme's fabulous new beachfront attraction cafe bar, not cafe, sorry, what am I talking about? Some
Restaurant.
upmarket bar and restaurant. It's going to be really, really groovy. It's the happening place to go. And they are the people behind the very successful stable chain, which ran in Bridport, which they sold to Fuller's. And Richard got in touch with me today and said they're going to sponsor us for £1,000. Bloody £1,000!
Good.
That's incredible. I
You
mean,
want to actually say how much, do you?
What? I don't mind saying how much.
Okay.
Do you think we shouldn't? I think that's an extremely generous donation. That matches.
Yeah.
That's like. So that's Ian-Gillan has given us £1,000.
Right.
Love him. By the Bay. Not By the Bay. Sorry. Well, thank you for shaking your head there. Sorry.
Lyme Bay Holidays.
Lyme Bay Holidays have also given us the same, which is fantastic of them, and we love them. And now Richard and Nikki at Swim, which is this restaurant's going to be called, and bar, it's going to be called capital S, capital W, and then a little I, and then a capital M. I don't know why, but apparently that's what all the surfers go for.
Right.
And so they have as well. And he said that he'd like to develop an ongoing relationship with Guitars on the Beach.
Brilliant.
So maybe we'll get you playing in there.
Free meals for
the
house
free
band.
meal? No. I got Christ. I need to lose weight. I'm running out of clothes to wear. Not like swelt people like you. So isn't that fabulous?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I'm chuffed to bits.
Good.
Chuffed to bits. Right, okay, so what else have we done? Whole Lot of Rosie, Swim, sponsors, council. Oh, we've almost got £3,000
Good.
in sponsorship.
Good.
So we only need another 4,
Okay.
if anyone would like
People are registering on the website, which is good. I saw that today. I was looking at how many registrations there were.
Mm.
So that's good to do and get your wristband.
How is the wristband frenzy going?
I probably would have to have a word with the lady in charge of wristbands.
Right. Joe Street.
Is it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
Mm. And
What is a wristband?
well, it's a piece of rubber that you wear about an appendage.
Right, okay. So there's the two types. There's I'm in the band wristband, or I was a groupie.
Not
wristband.
I was.
I am a group.
No,
but it will be I was. I am what?
No. Who said that? Who said that's not the right word? It says Guitars on the Beach groupie.
Groupie. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not I was a groupie. You're going back to your film again, aren't you? Ah, yeah.
So this is an upbeat podcast.
It is upbeat.
That's good.
It's the last one, isn't it?
We'll see
This
what we can do.
could be the last time.
But we'll start them up again if there's a gap. Or maybe we'll do one every couple of weeks that's just something. I'm not sure.
Well, you're going to be off to your Mediterranean home.
Yeah.
And
I don't have a Mediterranean.
but you do though.
No, I don't.
Well, you do. You're going off from now until April, and you've got the decorators living in to do your house up while you're swanning away in España. So you were suggesting that we do it with Skype.
Well, something that as soon as maybe for you, it would better be 2 tin cans and a piece of string.
I can do these things.
I don't.
I fucking can.
You always say, like, you can play things on 1 string on a guitar, but you never actually get the guitar in your hand and do anything.
Well, that's because I'm drunk at the time. Are you talking about On Guitars on the Beach Day?
Well, no, you may do a bit of miming then. And posing like a rock star.
I've got the rock star.
But you're quite
attitude.
shy, aren't you, really?
I'm very shy.
To be on stage, you wouldn't do a compare thing.
Do you know, I went on stage once at a proper gig. Have I told you this story?
I don't think so. This will be the last story, because we need to wrap this up.
Okay. When I was on the last McCartney, the last McCartney tour I was on, we had this, before the gig started, we had all these kind of young dancers and actors, and they would dress up in this garb and stuff, and look like clowns and things, and they would walk through the auditorium before Paul came on, with all this kind of impending greatness music and stuff, and carrying fucking huge balloons. I mean, massive balloons the size of a car, and dressed up in masks and stuff. And we were at a gig in Los Angeles, and a couple of them had got ill or something, and they couldn't do it. So I just happened to hear about this. So I said, well, I'll do it, right? And all you had to do was walk through this huge gig. I mean, I don't know, about 30,000 arena, and then walk through the crowd with this bloody great balloon, and then walk across the stage, and then you had to kind of do a bow in the centre of the stage,
Right.
and then go off. That's all you had to do. We did a rehearsal. I shat a brick. I mean, I went and had to have there's pictures of this of me with this foot-long joint, smoking this joint with this balloon dressed up as a clown. Because when you get on the stage and you see 30,000 people, it's absolutely terrifying. And actually, it was a sidebar to that when we did our last night of the world tour, we played in Liverpool. And we played an open-air gig at King's Dock to about 60,000, 70,000 people. And Paul said, as we were going to the stage, this is true, right? We're going to the stage in a go-kart thing. And he said, "Oi, Jeff, why don't you come on stage tonight?" I said, "Sorry." And he said, "Go and get a guitar," knowing I can't play, but he has loads of left-handed guitars. "Come on stage." And so I was quite, wow, yeah, okay. And, but I had to, there's a point during the show where you bring all these photographers in and they get all these pictures and stuff. You can't just leave them there because they just misbehave. So a press officer has to be in charge of them. And he said, "Come on during the Long and Winding Road." And, because that was my favourite kind of Paul song. And that was the song that I had to get the photographers in on. And it was tragic because I said to my deputy, "Will you do the photographers tonight?" And he'd been doing them all tour long. And he said, "I really don't want to tonight. I want to enjoy the gig." And I thought, this is my moment of glory. I can go on stage with Paul McCartney with a guitar during Long and Winding Road, or I can do my job and so I never did it. That's true. That's absolutely true. Mind you, he was a bugger. I know what he would have done. I would have gone on, and he knew that I couldn't play, because when I first started with him in 1989, he said, "Do you play guitar?" And I said, try to get out of it, and said, "No, I'm left-handed." And he said, "Well, there's a few of those around here." And so he knew I couldn't play. And I know what he would have done if I'd turned up and just strolled on, as you say, pretending to play the guitar. He would have stopped the fucking song and said, "Oh, let's hear Jeff sing," you know. But yeah, that was one of the biggest regrets of my life. That, but it's duty, isn't it? You do your job. That's what you do. Never mind the fame.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, we can't end it on that.
No,
that's a downer. Let's fizz again.
Yeah.
So, just to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, April the 14th, although obviously there will be a massive amount of regret that Bob Brooker here will not be playing because he's off in somewhere.
I'm touring with Sparks.
He's touring with Sparks. The Sparks Spain
tribute
tour.
band.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that, can you? What's that Sparks song? Did they have any hits? Yeah. You look. The trouble with looking like that bloke, you look like Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want. It's not good when people say you look like Hitler.
No.
But anyway, we don't want him. But April the 14th at the Marine Theatre in Lyme-Regis, £10 a ticket, guitars on the boards. It's going to be it's going to be a dance night. I know that Dream Phaser play hits from about 4 decades. They play Stone stuff and Foo Fighters and Chili Peppers, Lenny Kravitz, all that sort of stuff. And it'll be really, really good. And only 350 tickets, plus the house band, plus surprise star guests. And I've got an idea on something on that, but I can't reveal it yet. But that'll be one of those.
You're such a tease.
I am a tease. I should be a pole dancer, really. And or a lap dancer.
Block that out.
And so come along to that. That'll be great. And the tickets will be going on sale very shortly, if not now, at the Marine Theatre and also at the Tourist Information Centre in
the Marine
Lyme.
Theatre?
Yeah.
Can you get them at the Marine Theatre?
Well, of course you can get them at the Marine. That's where the gig is. Well, where else are you going to get them? Woodmead Halls?
Online?
Online? God, let's not yes, okay, online. Yes, if you can go. Oh, of course, it's this thing, isn't it? People don't want to make an effort to go.
But you keep telling them to go and get the tickets for the last month and a half.
Well, you've got to do this. This is the
I
whole
know, but
nature
they
of
haven't
it.
been available.
How do you know? They can put your name down, can't you? You can be on the waiting list.
I'm a theatre friend.
You can go down. Are you?
Yeah.
Right. Have you tried? You haven't tried because you're not going to be here.
Well, they haven't announced the gig yet.
I'm announcing it now. I'm the fucking press officer. I'm bloody announcing it. And they can. If they haven't actually got the bit of cardboard or whatever it is, you can put your name down, can't you? And then pick them up. That's what you do. You put your name down. You say, go down and say Bobby Brooker and Hillary +1. £20, please. Well, that's cheap for a night of great fun and laughter and enjoyment and dancing. And then they write Mr. B. Brooker on a piece of paper. It's very slick and sophisticated. And then you arrive on the night and you say Mr. Brooker, and they say, "Oh, the bloke from Sparks is here," and then they give you your ticket, don't they? Because you're on the list. That's how it works.
Good.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without you.
I'm a born promoter, clearly.
Yeah.
Right, so we will be continuing this, won't we? Via some sort of electronic communication.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of sign off? Because,
No, not really.
Well, you should say something. People are going to be missing you.
Well,
They will.
Right.
Are you doing another tutorial?
No.
So you've done all the tutorials?
No, but Brian probably do some. Or when I come back in the end of April, which is still May and June before the gig. So we'll ramp it up, ramp the podcasts up as we get closer.
Will we?
Yeah.
How long have we done now? Because I know you worry about taking up people's time.
Well, I know, but I also know there's all the stuff I've got to.
No, you don't have to cut anything out.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Don't cut out the drug stuff. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about saying I get depression. In fact, I think people should admit that they get depression. You know, Prince Harry says that. I was reading.
What about all the name dropping?
What name dropping?
Well, you know,
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I've done it again.
Well, that's all right. I worked for it. That's okay. He won't mind. He loves it.
I've got a good song
I bet
to
he goes
finish
around
on.
name dropping about me.
I've got a good song to finish
Send
on.
that bastard, Jeff Baker. Right, sorry. Go on.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's been really lovely doing these
It
podcasts
has,
with you
yeah.
these last few weeks.
Thank you.
But
I
I've
love
enjoyed today's more than the last couple.
Great.
I have to say.
I am here to please.
Good. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But what are you going to
See-
play out on? Oh, is it a surprise?
Yeah.
It's not no surrender, is it? It's not the Churchill speech.
No.
We shall fight them on the... No? Okay.